It is the Homemade Broadcast, episode 533. 533 episodes. I cannot believe
Stop.
it.
I already know what you're doing and where this is going, and it's nowhere good. You're not well, and I'm worried about you. I feel like you're spiraling out of control.
I am. My name's Will Kuncz. This is Anna Hummel.
Hi.
Anna, welcome. So, spoiler alert, as the title may indicate, we are not live this week. We did have to pre-record the program.
Why is that? What did you have to do?
Oh, that wasn't me.
Oh, it's me. Right. I will be going to a Missy Elliot concert.
Whoa, how was it? Because this won't be airing until next
amazing.
week.
She looks incredible.
Yep.
I've never been to Amalie Arena before, so it was really a great experience to go and see it on the inside.
What if you get shot?
What if
a terrorist attack happens?
That would be so funny.
It wouldn't be funny.
Your expression.
It was more just morbid. You know, like we're talking about an event that hasn't happened yet, but it has happened yet by the time that people see it.
Yeah.
And what if something tragic happens and then you're like, it was so fun?
Well, not in the same vein as a terrorist attack, but there's a chance I could run into Dizzy. So that's pretty bad.
Oh, he's a big teddy bear.
No, he's cool. No, I not that I know him, but I did know him at one point. He was always very kind to me. Yeah. But apparently, I was told that he will also be in attendance at the Missy Elliot concert. And I was trying to think back onto, like, did I talk smack? Was I just being a good friend to you? Did I go out of my way to say something cruel? And I don't think I did. So in the event that we do see each other, I think it should be just fine.
Yeah, it'll be good.
But I'm very excited. It is a birthday gift because my birthday was 3 months ago.
Right.
But my friend, who actually maybe still works with you, well, not anymore really, but Kelly. I'm just gonna say I'm going with Kelly.
Oh, great.
From the Bone. We're very good friends.
That's awesome.
We did Pride together, and she told me, hey, I got Missy Elliot tickets and it's your birthday. This was back in May. Let's go. And I said, well, you know what I said, actually? I think she told me about it back in April. And I said, well, it's going to be hard because I work the next morning.
Yeah.
LOL. No, I don't anymore. So, yeah, very excited to go to the concert.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Well, I'm sure it was a good time. I'm sure it was shooting free, and I'm sure you had a blast, and I'm sure that we are already prepping next week's show, but we're recording actually on the 22nd of July. So it's a Monday. I just survived a hellish Monday at work. Oh my God. I have to quit that job. It's killing me. I just got a promotion that I start. Well, I thought I started the first of the month in August. Turns out it's not till the end of the month in August. So I have one more month of this before I start.
What's the actual date?
The 26th, I believe. I'll start.
Oh, so you got over a month, buddy.
A little bit over a month, yeah, which is unfortunate. It's very disappointing, but I'm gonna get through it. I hope.
It's not what you were saying a few minutes ago.
I hope I can.
I'm gonna end it. And I didn't know if you meant the job or your life.
I don't know either. At this point. I'm scrambling. I know that you're scrambling too to find something that you don't want to end it.
No.
Do something that you don't want to end it. Whatever that means. Put it however you want. But yeah, so we're doing this on a Monday this week. And I feel like, the danger of producing a program close to a week to when it will air is that sometimes things get stale. They're not really news anymore. However, there was an event that took place yesterday, the 21st of July, which I think people will still be talking about even next week. And that was the decision by President Biden to not seek re-election. Now, he is still president of the United States. He has not stepped down as of yet. Maybe by next Sunday he did. I don't know. We don't even know where he's at right now.
He might be dead. Have you heard this?
I've heard this. I've heard that people are speculating. They haven't seen him. He's canceled his meetings. He's just not around right now. Apparently
he has
COVID. But apparently he's better. He's tested, supposedly that he's symptom free now.
Because he's dead.
That could be.
He's dead. He's dead.
You heard it here first. breaking news
Even
from
when
1
he was
week
alive,
ago.
he was dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a walking corpse. It seems like he's welcoming death. It's at his front porch.
Yeah, well, he seems to be staring into the abyss from time to time. I don't know what that means exactly. It tends to mean that cognitively he may be having some issues. But it was weird how the media went from within a matter of weeks, and that's what blew my mind about this whole situation. I did get to do some time on the bone, well, last week now when you're seeing this, but the day that Biden stepped down, I did a few hours, and the thing that really shook me to my core about this whole thing was how quick the media went from these are cheap fakes, that videos and audio that you're hearing are cheap fakes, which was a new term that experts hit the cable circuit news circuit to explain what a cheap fake was. A cheap fake is not AI, but it is real video and audio that is edited selectively to make it seem like something
is worse than it really
is worse than it really is, and that the president was fine. And any insinuation that maybe he was cognitively struggling was just fiction.
Don't
and
believe your eyes and ears because
right.
you're mistaken.
That's
you
right.
Peasant, you Dumas,
fool,
if you will.
Yeah, you fool.
Yeah.
You conspiracy nut. And this was absolutely, the media would fact check anybody who brought up like, this guy doesn't seem very good. Something's going on with him. No, these are cheap fakes. And then after the debate, it went, Biden's got to drop out. He's mush. He can't do it. And just like the 180 that happened so quick, it was really something to watch there. But President Biden has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to be his successor. The president was facing mounting calls from within his own party to step aside after a disastrous debate performance against former President Trump in June. This is the first time an incumbent president has declined to run for re-election since Lyndon Johnson dropped out of the political race in 1968. Also got the endorsement of Nancy Pelosi today on the 22nd. So they're all backing Kamala.
Who do you think Harris will pick if she is going to be the presidential nominee? Who do you think will be her VP pick? Do you think it will be Montel Williams?
No, I don't.
Because he is coming out because he has to, because people are coming after him. I saw that clip of him with Kamala. By the way, people are just saying it's him and Kamala. I don't know if you've seen the clip, Will, but there's a second woman there.
Yeah.
He is holding hands with both of them.
Right. This was kind of in his heyday, right? Where he was kind of
he was the man.
Yeah. Yep. He had a very successful talk show.
Was he kind of pulling a Nick Cannon where he's got multiple? Listen, I understand that many men may have multiple women, but it is rare when you see them out in public holding hands with both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of a PIMP move.
Oh, for sure.
And I think a lot of people are reaching out to him, and he just wants to stay out of it. It seems he said, "Don't talk to me."
Well, he's ill,
he
isn't
said,
he?
"Leave me alone," which is a quote that I think Will's heard somewhat recently.
Yes,
that was his
I have
quote.
heard that. Here's a. I hope that we might get. I don't know if we're allowed to use this content.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Harris's dating history is making headlines. Nearly 2 weeks after Election Day, the internet has become fascinated with the news of the vice president-elect's previous relationship with talk show host Montel Williams. The former couple, who briefly dated in 2001, went public with their romance at a red carpet event in Los Angeles, while Harris was working for the attorney's office in San Francisco almost 20 years ago. Montel previously confirmed speculation about their past connection in August 2019. He tweeted at the time, "Kamala Harris and I briefly dated about 20 years ago when we were both single. So what? I have great respect for Senator Harris. I have to wonder if the same stories about her dating history would have been written if she were a male candidate."
Oh.
With the story trending again in 2020, the TV personality took the opportunity to call for the release of Marine veteran Trevor Reed, who has been detained in Russia for over a year. Harris recently made history as the first woman and woman of color.
I would like to get a quote from the other woman and see if they scissored or not.
They don't really mention
they completely ignore her.
Like she's not even there.
Overlook the fact that she was in a throuple, it seems, because I've watched this clip many times. Will, he's holding hands with both of them, suggesting that, you know, and the other woman is very attractive, arguably more attractive than Kamala.
Yeah.
So he's probably blasting both of them, and they probably did nasty, dirty stuff like this stuff.
Oh,
you know.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
So, can we get a quote from her?
Who is she?
I think it's kind of sexist that she's completely ignored. She is completely ignored. I think it's pretty apparent that Kamala Harris is bisexual. She is biracial and she is bisexual.
Interesting.
But she is binary gender wise. And I think we need to get a quote from this woman to see what kind of nasty, dirty things, you know, she did. Did she do some sort of diving, scuba diving? You know what I mean?
I want to know what I want to see the video of them, because I think you're right, where he was holding hands.
Oh, I've watched it at least a half dozen times.
You have to go to Twitter for stuff.
Holding both of their hands. And he goes, Kamala Harris. Kamala. See, I told you. Think I'd lie?
Here, let's
we got Destiny's Child over here on the left. She's a very attractive woman. Belly.
Long before she met Doug Emhoff, she dated some prominent men, including in 2001, former talk show host Montel Williams. Back then, he was the famous one and had to introduce her to the paparazzi. Now, the whole...
Yeah, he was holding both of their hands.
It's completely ignored. No one in the media is talking about this other woman. Everyone is looking for comment from Montel Williams, which, you know, great. But also, did she have sexual relations with that woman? Is it any of my business? No. But come on, we're talking about Montel. Why not this other woman?
It's not guaranteed.
They probably did it.
I mean, he might have just had like 2 chicks. Or maybe he was like, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they were together too.
It implies.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I think it was more just like a pimp move. Like, I have 2 women. And it doesn't mean that they're together as well, or all 3 are together at the same time.
I never said they were dating. I'm just saying they probably all messed around. If you are a woman and you are okay with your man holding hands with another woman publicly at the same time as you're probably very open-minded, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And open, other things are probably open too.
Yeah,
you know
wide open.
You're okay with sharing. So listen, she seems to be a very progressive woman.
Yeah,
I think it's plausible she probably ate some snatch. I don't know.
Well, that's got to get bleeps now. That's definitely can't go on Radio St. Pete.
Sorry, John.
That's so that will be edited out. I make a timestamp there. I mean, listen, you could be right. It is.
Why are we not talking about this? That we have the first possibly woman, Black, Indian, bisexual woman running for president. No one's talking about this. Oh, does Adam Carolla get into it?
No, this looks like Adam Carolla show 1 hour ago. Montel Williams dated vice president.
He looks terrible.
Adam Carolla? I was gonna say Montel looks really good.
Well, he's been preserved in amber. I mean, black don't crack, but
he's ill though.
Williams?
He has like Parkinson's disease.
That's
why I think that's why he quit his show.
Really?
It's not well.
I didn't know that.
And I think he's a big marijuana proponent and claims that he's really been helped.
Well, you know, Kamala would have put him in jail if she would have known back then.
Yeah. Let's see what Adam and Montel.
This is recent.
So we're talking about politicians and old politicians, but Kamala Harris is a not too old politician who used to date back in the day.
You know, I like to say that I am a gentleman, and you know, I don't kiss and tell. You know, it was a while back. We had a relationship and it ended, and we both moved on.
Was it for a period of time?
It was for a period of time.
The kiss and tell part doesn't interest me very much, but I do like sort of insights, like, because I can't get a good read on her. I can't figure out if she's smart or she's vapid or it's an agenda.
You'd have to understand. I mean, when you say is she smart, no question. I mean, the woman ascended from being a public defender to the district attorney of San Francisco, then on to be the attorney general of the state, California, on to becoming the vice president of the United States.
No, I do think she's smart. But I think a lot of these people are smart, but they don't sound, what they're saying isn't making sense.
Adam is trying so hard not to insult him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you do, we talked about being a good interviewer a few weeks ago, and there's certain things that you have to do,
of course,
where you don't want to necessarily push too hard.
Yeah, and you want to make him feel comfortable enough to open up.
Right.
He's doing a good job, but obviously I have some questions that I'd like to know.
Well, apparently a lot of people have questions because apparently Biden delayed dropping out partly because he doubted Kamala Harris's chances against Trump. President Biden delayed dropping his 2024 re-election campaign because he doubted whether Vice President Kamala Harris could actually take on Donald Trump. The 81-year-old president and his senior advisors had expressed the concerns about whether the Veep was up for the challenge of facing off against Donald Trump in the lead up to the historic announcement. Axios reported on Monday, citing 3 Biden aides who had familiar with the conversations.
Right.
Still, Biden ended up endorsing Harris, 59, when he revealed that he was stepping aside on Sunday, weeks after his train wreck debate. Biden and Harris spoke repeatedly over the phone in the hours before the bombshell announcement was made public.
If you go up a little bit and instead of saying revealed, go down a little, where it says when he revealed he was stepping aside, it's probably when he woke up to the news that he was stepping aside.
Joe, it's over. Huh?
What? Huh? Interesting stuff. I kind of want to get into some possible conspiracy theories, but maybe we should leave that for.
Well, you asked me who do I think is going to be Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick.
Oh, right.
So I think if you're in a position where you're running for president, you have to think of the Electoral College, and you have to. Donald Trump picked a senator from Ohio, which is always a toss-up state that could go red or blue any presidential cycle. So he went with the man from Ohio, J.D. Vance. Also, one state that typically does go blue, but sometimes red, is Pennsylvania. So I think it's going to be Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, for a few reasons. Because it's Pennsylvania. I think that he's white. He's male, and he's also Jewish.
Ugh.
And I think that they need the Jewish vote back a little bit, the Democrats, because I think they've.
Oh, I was gonna say yes or no, but now I
know a lot of Jews since October 7th attacks have been questioning whether
they don't need the Jewish vote. Will they need the Jewish?
Well,
is that.
Well, that's probably part of it too, right? I'm not gonna disagree.
I hear they got a lot of money.
Some do, not all, but not me either. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So I think it's gonna be Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania. What about you?
I have no clue. Some people are saying the Berkshire, is that a person? Berkshire.
Sounds semi-familiar, yeah.
I've heard that he might be one. I really don't know, but I'm really excited for this season of Black Mirror that we are living through with the presidential debate, which happened much earlier, and I've been just reading right before we started recording that this may have been part of the plan. Imagine that, You can say a lot of things about Democrats or politicians or donors. They might be conniving, they might be evil, but they're not dumb. I can't buy that they're dumb. I thought this was all part of the plan, which it seems to be. Then we have the attempted assassination of a president who, if he didn't look at a beautiful shot, he would have been dead. It would have been a blowout JFK Part 2. That happened last weekend. And then 1 week after that, 1 week and a day after that, Biden steps aside. Whether he did or not, who knows? I don't even know if he's alive. He may be dead. I got called out for believing quote unquote conspiracy theories. And you just got to go, listen, you don't know what's real. I don't know what's real. At this point, everything is pretty fair game.
Who tried to call you out for conspiracies?
Just like a jujitsu friend.
Oh, okay.
Was just like, well, I don't like. He basically said about himself, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I go, I'm not either, but I am for conspiracy facts, which seem to be coming true more and more once time just plays out. So it should be really interesting to see. But I think this is what you probably feel during football season. I think I get it now. I am so excited to wake up every day to see, not if my team won, but just to see,
see the highlights.
Right.
Top
Did
10
someone
plays.
die? People are saying that that congresswoman who was in charge of the Secret Service commission, she died, and they're saying, whoa, that seems kind of coincidental.
Wait, she did?
You know what I'm talking about? Old
No.
black lady.
Oh, Sheila Jackson, my favorite politician. She was my favorite lady.
Was she the one that was like the sun?
Yes.
Okay. She's
her.
Dead now.
I know. I heard that. I'm so sad.
Yeah. She's dead.
Yeah. She was great. And she's the one who said, I have never behaved in any activity that could be described as idiot. That was one of my favorite lines.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, she's passed now. So I'm kind of taking it all in every day. And it's really kind of an interesting time to be alive, because if you think like 30 years ago, or not even 20 years ago, and the news would just say, here's video what happened. There it is. Or we don't have video and this is just what happened. And everyone has to go, oh, I guess that's what happened. Now everybody has a camera on their phone. So they're like, who's this guy in the gray suit? I see the shooter on the water tower. There's so many things that now other people must explain. But then you also then it gets even more complicated with AI. So then in order to dispel, some evidence, you can just go, oh, that was doctored up. That's not even real. So now we're in a time where news and information is so prevalent and pervasive that now we don't even know what's true and what's not true. So it gets even more complicated to try to parse out which is which.
Yeah. I was actually watching a short documentary about, do you know who Adam Curtis is? He does some BBC stuff. He does these really cool documentaries.
He does BBC stuff. Ooh.
Not that kind.
Oh.
But it was about Vladimir Putin's, one of his like best friends who helps him run the country.
BFFs.
And he does this like stage magic of funding like opposition groups of Putin, and then just of like funding everything, which is I think what we do here too, and then just have everybody fight, and then saying, yeah, we funded these groups, so nobody knows what's happening. Nobody can be quite sure what exactly the truth is. And that seems like where we're at too here. I don't know. Whenever I see something, I just go, maybe, I don't know. I can't be sure of anything. And it kind of it puts you in the psychology of just like being kind of aloof, almost like not being able to take action because you're not quite sure
absolutely
what's real and what's not.
Because you can only really make decisions with facts, but you don't know what the facts are.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to go, is that the truth? Is that not? Because it was fact checked by Politico and they said it was true, and it was fact checked by Axios and they said it wasn't true. So then you go, well, I don't know. I can't do all this research by myself, boys.
There was a thing like that yesterday where somebody called in when I was covering On the Bone. Oh, my friend Carmen. Carm, listener of the Johnny B show. Not Mike Calta's Carmen, a listener named Carmen. She called in and was talking about how Trump was talking about injecting bleach during COVID. And I go, no, he didn't, Carmen. Yes, he did. Look it up. And I go, you should look it up. I know what you're talking about, but you're wrong. And then I have Isaiah in there, and Isaiah's doing the fact checking.
He's your Jamie.
He's my Jamie. He's looking it up. Well, Politico says that he that he's injecting bleach. I go, yeah, don't trust Politico.
But then you look like a jerk because then you're like,
because
your
I'm
facts are
wrong.
wrong facts.
According to
You know,
Politico, I'm
alternate
wrong.
facts.
I'm wrong. But Isaiah did his due diligence, and he said on page 3 of Google,
That's not how he said it.
He found the actual quote,
Mm.
and no, he didn't say that. The actual quote was like, we look at this disinfectant because once it gets in the lungs, and he was talking about the UV light, I believe, to maybe injecting UV light into, but the disinfectant became bleach, not the UV light. And he was saying just inject bleach into your lungs.
I think didn't he say that during like a press conference on a mic? And
yeah,
like,
but
have that conversation behind closed doors, please.
It was sloppy and it was off the top of his head, and
yeah.
he was saying, that it would have to be under the care of a doctor, but it's something we should maybe look in. This was when nobody knew what was going on, and they were trying to find, a cure for this thing. So he was just pontificating off the top of his head. And while it was sloppy, he certainly didn't say inject bleach. Nobody did that. The only person that did that was Chris Cuomo's wife. Took baths in bleach when she had COVID. But that was the only. I don't know. It's just so frustrating because but there's still people who go, well, disinfectant means bleach, and he said inject. So no, you're still wrong. It's hard.
Yeah.
But you can find the actual quote, which you have to go on page 3. And meanwhile, Washington Post, Politico, they're all telling me that, yes, he said that. He said that. But obviously that's no, he didn't. That's not true. This goes back to the find people on both sides thing too, where finally Snopes admitted that no, what he was talking about was, protesters, not
the people who were for and against the statues.
Yes. Yeah. So
not the Charlottesville.
Right. But that's still, and there's still people who are probably listening to this that are pulling their hair out. Yes, he did say that. So, I mean,
fine. At that point, you just go, you say no, they say yes, you say no, you say yes, you go, all right.
It's hard to have conversations. So, and you have to always be on Google now to have a conversation because people say stuff and you go, no. And then you got to, Chris Fisher and I were talking about doing a podcast where we would talk and have a conversation, but we would have to edit and for Google searches to make sure that people are, but I don't trust Google.
Right.
I don't, as we just learned, you have to get to page 3 on Google. Meanwhile, the first page is saying that I was wrong and Carmen was right. But Carmen was wrong and I was right.
Okay.
I was.
I know. You're rarely ever wrong. So I guess
that's right. That's right.
I guess
if ever.
Yeah, if ever. Most of the time, right.
Most of the time, right. Yeah. I wish people would just listen to me.
But it's an exciting time to be alive. And I think this is exactly what I needed in my life. A little pep in my step. And I feel like since the debate, I've been just really excited to just wake up every day and see what mess I have to read about on the news. It's very exciting to me. It's like it's very telenovela. It's like a Spanish soap opera. What's going, but everything is at stake, which makes it even more fun. So I'm very excited to see what unfolds the next 100
So
days.
who do you think is going to be, did you answer that question?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know any big names.
Somebody threw out an interesting name. I don't think there's any way that it would be this person, but Robert Kennedy.
I knew you were going to say that. That would never happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That would never happen. He seems to be more anti-establishment every time I hear him speak, which is wild because he is a Kennedy.
Yeah.
He is deep into the establishment of the Democratic Party, yet he is going rogue, which I appreciate. Because the people that are like, look, I'm in the game. I'm telling you how it is, and it's not good.
Yeah.
I almost trust him more because it takes so much bravery and courage to come forward and say that. And why would he say that if it's not helping him in any way? It's not helping him win over Washington or the deep state or anything when he's saying the government killed my father and uncle over and over again. So you got to appreciate him.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but he does have a small coalition of, people who are, all in on him. I don't know how much it is exactly. I've heard that he was potentially on Trump's short list too.
That's what
to be vice president.
Oh, not VP. I thought he was going to be in the cabinet or.
Well, they did have a call that leaked.
I saw that.
And he very well could be in Trump's cabinet and about going after some of these companies. And they, Trump seems to be kind of in on the maybe vaccine safety as well. he's made some comments previously about its potential connections with autism, and on the call that got leaked, RFK had a film crew with him, and Trump called him when the film crew was there, and they accidentally filmed it, and it got leaked. And he was talking about how these, vaccines are enough for a horse, and instead they put them in the little babies, and it's what kind of effect does that have? Kind of asking questions to RFK, who's the vaccine guy, so or has been labeled that way. Anyways, I don't really know what that means, but he has I don't know, some heat on him about maybe potentially being anti-vax. I don't know
we'll
anymore.
Figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go, but I guess we should kind of close this portion.
Yes, we're going to say goodbye to the Radio St. Pete audience and the podcast listeners. If you want the full podcast uncensored, we're going to do another half an hour here. You can go to hmbradio.substack.com, or since I'm a bad businessman, you can get it on YouTube and Rumble for free. All you got to do is go over to willsyoutube.com or Rumble. I don't have a link for Rumble yet. I should buy one. But it would be just HMB Radio, all one word, on Rumble if you want to watch over there. So we say goodbye to the freeloaders. Bye. We love you guys. And Radio St. Pete, we love you too. And we hope you join us next Wednesday live at 6 p.m.
6:15.
6 p. No, we're doing 6 p sharp on Wednesdays.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant on Radio St. Pete.
Oh, Radio. Yeah, I don't even know what time.
I think it's 6:05. It makes no sense. But anyways, 6 p.m. next Wednesday.
All right. See you later. Oh, I almost ended the recording. That wouldn't have been good. And we're back.
Woo!
Already. How about
Will was lamenting that he said he wished women weren't allowed to fly planes. And I said, Will, that's disturbing, because women can do anything that men can do, including crashing planes.
That's true. And we do have a story. I don't remember saying that I don't think women should fly airplanes.
Can I be honest about something?
Yeah.
That I'm not proud of?
Mm-hmm.
I've walked on a plane before, and I always peek my head into the cockpit just to, see what's going on in there.
Yep.
Maybe I saw a lady in there, and it just,
freaked you out.
No, it was more just like, is there anyone else in there too? Is there maybe a man with salt and pepper hair in there too? If not, I feel it would make me a little bit uneasy.
Yeah.
A little bit uneasy.
Can't say that I blame you for that.
I feel like there's really no way to explain it other than just going into like a very sexist monologue, which I don't really want to do. But I just feel like it's not that women can't do it, but I just feel like maybe men do it a little better. Maybe. I don't know. I know how women drive, and I'm not a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit too on the defensive side. I need someone that is a bit more aggressive, someone that I can just like lean into and know that everything's gonna be okay. And when I see Katie in the cockpit, it doesn't really ease any of my concerns.
Yeah, this poor young lady here passed away. A promising young New York pilot on the cusp of living out her dream of becoming an airline pilot died moments after she released a set of skydivers to jump from her plane. Melanie, how do you say that name? Georgia, 26. 26 years old.
Dang,
little cutie. Look at that. I want to fly an aeroplane. Was killed when her single engine Cessna, when it crashed on the Niagara Scenic Parkway about 15 miles from Niagara Falls. She was the only person on board during the crash and was heading back to land, according to officials. Was the dog on there too?
I was gonna ask. I think the dog was safe.
Okay. It was a skydiving dog.
Yeah.
Where it landed was just off the parkway. We look to the west near Fort Niagara. It's full of soccer players today. Okay. So you don't want women to fly planes. You really don't.
I don't say. I didn't say that. I just maybe don't want to be on one. That's just female only pilots.
They're free to fly planes that I'm not on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you gotta. I feel you on this, and it might be. I don't think women should drink whiskey, but I'm gonna say something very progressive. I do believe that they should be able to fly airplanes if they're competent and are able to fly the airplane.
That seems very fair.
That seems fair.
That seems very fair. This is how I feel about women in a cockpit, okay? If I had a child and I went to drop them off at daycare and it was only men taking care of the little kiddos, I would go, not this daycare.
Yeah.
No, thanks. That's how I feel. Where I'm just like, could they do the job? Yeah. Might they fuck my kid? More likely. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about a woman in a cockpit, where I'm like, okay, she could do the job, but I just feel a little uneasy.
Yeah.
That's all. Am I allowed to feel our feelings against the law now? Am I allowed to feel a little uneasy?
Well, I wonder why, because I would feel the same way. It would be unusual for a bunch of men to run a daycare. But why? Why is it? Is it just
because when people are fucking little kids, most of them are guys. Most of them are guys. I'm not saying all men are sexual deviants, but if we're looking at the pool of sexual deviants, most of them are male.
Yeah. I think you're right. Although there are a lot of women. Every day there's a new teacher that has been busted for sleeping with students. However,
that's a different thing.
It's different,
if the kid
but
is
it's
15 years old.
Yeah, no, I know. You're gonna get into a whole can of worms here
versus
too.
an infant.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
not good, but better. That's what I say.
There's degrees.
Sure.
There for sure.
Spectrum,
but there are a lot of. So I would say probably teachers are more likely. Female teachers are more likely to have a relationship with a student in like high school. But I would say you're right that probably men are more likely to be deviants and potential pedophiles.
Are they more likely?
Yeah.
Or is it just those are the stories that
I think they're more
hearing?
likely.
I don't know if I want to claim that, but I feel like they're more welcome. I think they maybe last longer, perhaps, because the 15-year-old boy, let's just say it's that, is down. But then his mom is a cock block and finds out and turns the teacher in.
Also, some of them are like, 23 years old. And then there's, the boy, the man, whatever, the male in this equation is like 17. And you go, that's, it's not great.
Good.
It's not good, but they're pretty much peers. Like, 23-year-olds shouldn't be teachers either.
Yeah. I mean, the crime is a lot less severe for that than when the age of the child is months. When the age of the child is months, that's a much more severe crime where you go like, oh, the teacher had sex with a 16-year-old boy. Okay, not great, but versus a 22-month-old, that's not good. That's not good.
Did you have when you were a kid and were your teachers like old ladies?
In elementary school, I had one male teacher. School.
But was he young or old?
Younger.
Okay.
And middle school had a few. And then high school had a few, one of which was caught probably about 15 years after I graduated high school, caught having sexually assaulting a student.
Oh.
Grooming students. Apparently this happened for years. And my sister sent me an article and she's like, didn't you have Mr. Cooper? And I went, oh my word.
And which way? Which way did you have him?
I stayed in his class after everyone left.
Trying to get molested.
No, I just extra credit. I remember calling him out in class and correcting him. He didn't appreciate that too much. Never once did he make a move on me. So, that kind of hurt my feelings.
Too bad,
Not even a pass. More of just like, Anna, we got to wrap it up. Can you get the fuck out of here? Sorry, Mr. Cooper, I'm leaving now. Meanwhile, he's molesting other students.
He's like, I have students to molest. I need you to get out of here. God.
So,
I remember most of my teachers were older, but then I do remember we had two women. Yeah, I didn't have any male teachers, I don't think, in elementary school. There was a dude who would like tutor and he was in a wheelchair. He was a pretty cool guy, but he wasn't a teacher. He was just like a guy that would work with you one-on-one.
Yeah.
In the library.
I feel like that is that helps people feel safer when like you can't use your legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're less of a threat if you're wheelchair bound, you
right.
know?
Probably doesn't work anyways.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like
downstairs.
Yeah, just
but I had
uphill.
my first grade teacher was hot, and I remember even having a crush on her, Miss Marshall, even as a young boy, a first grader. And then my 5th grade teacher was the love of my life, Miss Kogan.
Kogan.
Yeah.
Why
I think
is that? She was just cute.
She was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. She's my 5th grade teacher.
How old was she? Do you even know?
She was probably like 23.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what I looked her up semi recently to see if I could. I think she must have got married, changed her name, probably doesn't live here anymore, or maybe she's in jail for rape, raping kids.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mm.
I hope not, but I would feel bad too if she didn't make a pass at me. I was ready
in 5th grade.
Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah, no way.
But the other ones were all old fat ladies. And I feel like that's who should be teachers.
Yeah.
Old fat ladies should be teachers. They should be teaching your children.
Everyone feels very comfortable with old fat ladies.
Old fat
ladies.
ladies.
Your kids, whether little boys, little girls.
They're the ones.
Yeah.
That's who you want.
They're not threatening if your husband has to go meet with them for a PTA meeting.
No problem.
It's fine. That's okay. Oh, it's Miss Baker? Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
We were
alone together. Yeah, okay, that's fine. No problem.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Yeah, lights were off. That's fine. Don't care. No one's jealous.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's definitely no trust. But I don't know. Is it social? I hate the social construct thing, but what is it about, guys running a daycare or women flying planes that make us uncomfortable? Or is it noticing patterns?
I think it is noticing patterns, and what your brain does is then extrapolate that to other things. So, for example, maybe you live in a community where you notice that people that steal tend to look a certain way. And now you're a teenager working at Forever 21, and some very nice African-American people walk in, and you just go, damn it, brain.
Don't do it.
Brain.
But
you kind of start following them around the store. And then they steal no, I'm just kidding. But unfortunately, it's unfortunate that we have heuristics in our brain. It's unfortunate that we have to wake up every day and it's not the first day we're on planet Earth. Okay. I'm sorry that my brain is functioning properly and that I'm noticing patterns.
But it keeps you safe. Like noticing patterns, those things are what keep you alive.
Yes.
When noticing danger. And I think too, I probably wouldn't think too much about a woman pilot 10 years ago. I would just be like, whoa, this lady she must kick ass if she's a pilot.
Right.
Now I'm like, there's a big push to try to get women pilots for some reason. I don't really know why, but they are really pushing hard for that. Companies and, their DEI offices really want women pilots for whatever reason. So they're really so now I'm like, how qualified are you for this job? It makes me nervous.
Yeah. Like in the same vein as like the Secret Service detail.
Yeah.
You go, you know how you didn't know how to holster a gun, which is,
should be first day
of Secret Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that that is the case. Although I would probably feel more comfortable in a plane with a female pilot than taking my pretend child to a daycare full of men.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me very uncomfortable. Any sort of grown men that really love working with kids that are not their own, I think is a red flag.
Unless they're in a wheelchair, as we established.
Yeah, but I mean, can a baby crawl away fast enough? I don't know. I don't know. They can't talk. So it's really, you have to really, really trust the person when the kid can't say, he was talking to my baby. He can't, he's a mute. He's a mute.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to,
you don't know.
You'd have to be like, where exactly in your spine are you paralyzed? What vertebrae is it down from? So I want to make sure that you're not
lying,
not working, down there.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look at your legs. Do they look like they've experienced a significant amount of atrophy?
Yeah.
Or do they just look like you were doing calf raises yesterday?
Are we talking the neck down, or are we talking the waist?
I want Christopher Reeves, buddy.
And there was a guy I remember that I grew up with that had he was in a chair, but he had an implant. So he could just pump his dong up.
Oh, that kind of implant.
Yeah, he could just fill it with air and pump it up. I don't know if he got any, like, did he get pleasure from it? I don't know, because I don't know if he actually felt it, but he was able to engage in acts with his wife. She could just plop down on him in the chair.
God bless her.
Yeah.
God bless that woman.
Yeah, because she wanted to do that.
That's a healthcare hero.
That would be, yeah, to say the least. So, yeah, I don't know. I just, in today's world, I'm not sure. But I think that and is this proof that women shouldn't be pilots, this tragic story?
No. It's just kind of one of those things where you go, see, I told you.
Yeah.
We're obviously making light of this situation. It's a very sad situation of this poor woman who was just, trying to live out her dream, much like you and I are doing. And she died doing it.
She died doing it.
Get rich or die trying. And that bitch did it, So
she sure did.
It's unfortunate. I hate making light of a sad situation, but what else am I supposed to do? If we don't laugh, we're going to cry. There's a lot of sad things. Life is very dismal and depressing. We were talking about this. Your life, very dismal and depressing.
Lately, yeah.
My life, bordering on such dismal and depressing stuff.
Yep.
But we have to try to find levity where we can.
Agreed.
So
I do agree with that.
I'm worried about you.
I'm worried about me too. Yeah. I'm really worried about me too. I don't know if I can continue to go on but it's not like this isn't like I'm gonna, take care of it. This might just mean I'll have to be really poor and just, quit that stupid job that I have until I can find something that's more suited for. But I don't want to bore the listening audience with that. I mean, I could just kidult instead.
What's that mean?
Kidulting. How adults are becoming the top toy buyers. Adults are buying toys, not kids anymore. The Toy Insider's Sweet had every new toy on display that a kid, or in this case, an adult, can ever ask for. From Transformers to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Pokemon, kidults were in full swing. It's just something that kind of brings you joy, and toy collecting is something that brings me a ton of joy. And it has for decades now, says Jay Glatfelter, a self-proclaimed kidult. Glatfelter spends about $2,400 a year on toys for himself. According to the data, adult toy collectors accounted for $1.5 billion of 2024's toy sales for the first quarter year. I didn't even know they made toys anymore.
This is like a PC way of saying incel, isn't it? That's what that is. We're describing people who are incels, which are involuntary celibates, but we're trying to, paint it in a rosy way where we're saying they're not incels, they're kidults. They just got quirky interests like Pokemon at the age of 37.
It's bizarre. I want to know. I want to know if this is him. I wonder if it's him though.
Let's see. Click on it.
Let's see if I can just find an image. I'm signed into. Oh yeah, that's him. All right, that has to be him.
Go over to. Yeah.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
Just thumb way up.
Geek Dad. Well, Dad. Geek Dad Life. Let me share this tab. This is his Instagram.
You didn't fuck to have that kid. Maybe you did.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a beard.
I don't know if this is him.
Boys. He's having sex with his son.
Oh God, we're gonna get sued.
Are we showing this?
Yeah.
Oh snap! I didn't realize you were.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
I don't know, and I don't know if this is him or not for sure. Yeah. But I just googled Jay Glatfelter, and it's
totally him.
Toy
Geeky
Swap.
Passions.
Yeah, Toy
That's
Hunt.
Him.
It's him.
That's him.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. Check him out, youtube.com/geekdadlife.
I'm sorry, Jay. I recant what I said.
Yeah,
I'm probably
but he's not
wrong.
an incel. He's got a wife and kids.
You don't know the story.
Well,
you don't know. We don't know. Nothing is real. The truth is up for grabs. Okay, Kidulting. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is common. It's like Disney people.
I know. It's what the first thing reminded me of. Trust me.
Yeah.
And I'm very close to the nest with some of these Disney adults, and it is frightening.
I have a friend that I adore, and she's like kind of like, she reminds me kind of like of Daria, you know, the cartoon character Daria, but she's a Disney person, which is so strange to me because you would think her personality would be like, there's no way you would make fun of these people normally, but you're actually one of them.
Can I make another sexist comment? I'm sure you would welcome it.
Yeah, of course.
It's alarming when there are Disney adults.
Yeah.
It is more alarming when they are adult males.
Yeah.
That I find
agreed
a bit more strange than a female, because I feel like in a lot of ways, I don't want to say that, but if I can think about like a woman getting married, right? She goes, I've been dreaming about this day since I was a little girl. She has like all these like little girl fantasies about what an adult version of her would do or be, or how she would get married, right? Like what it would look like.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see that where she's like having these, you know, fantasies of childhood and like fairies and everything's so cute and put together and whatever. But when a man is a Disney adult, then you gotta call the cops. So
I feel like it's the same with the toy collecting. I like I said, I didn't even really know they still made toys, and I think part of it could be not necessarily that there are just more of these kidults out there, but I don't think kids play with toys. Like kids who are
iPads,
they have right. It's all digital toys, like video games.
Yeah.
That's what I think kids are doing now. So they didn't have the nostalgia of, you know, when I was a young person, we had action figures that we played with. You know, Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
My Little Pony.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Barbies.
Is that what you played with? Barbies and My Little Pony.
I was a true girl. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be a boy later in life. That's when my
so no G.I. Joes.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got a little older, and then I wanted to be a boy, wear boys' clothes, and you know, my parents were like,
"Uh-oh,
one of those."
Yep. Boy, lucky you were in school in California too. Now you would have been, what's the male equivalent of Hannah?
Oscar.
Oscar
Aaron. Actually, that
Hummel.
was my name if I was going to be a boy.
Oh, Aaron. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Aaron. But Aaron, not Erin.
Aaron.
That's right. But so I wonder how much of that is just like these toys that the kids don't have any connection to them because they play in the digital world. So they don't really have action figure. But I don't know. I don't have kids and I don't really know many kids. So maybe they still do play with toys. I don't know. That's just a theory.
I think young kids still do, like toddlers and whatnot, but very early on, as soon as they can work an iPad, it seems like that is their toy of choice. And that seems to pacify them more than anything else, because it's same with adults and everyone else is once you go into your phone, you just become a zombie and you're quiet.
Yeah.
And that's what parents want when they go to Olive Garden to have dinner with their buddies.
Right.
So they're like, can you shut the fuck up? And they just put the iPad in front of their face and the kid just goes,
yeah.
Which sadly, that's probably exactly how I look when I'm, you know, looking at mukbangs at night, trying to calm the fuck down, calm my brain down when I'm starting to have a panic attack.
I just don't know where people have the time to do this stuff either.
What do you mean?
Like
adulting?
Yeah. Like how do you have the extra income? I guess there's a lot of people with money out there. There's a lot of people without money, but then there's a lot of people with money as well. But I just don't know, like this guy, Jay Glatfelder, you know, it seems like he has a family and children, and I'm sure he has a job. Maybe he's a rich kid or something and just doesn't have to.
Well, I can kind of speak to this because I see this in my own backyard, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have people out there whose identity I don't want to disclose, but they're very close to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to their wedding in February.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Disney themed wedding. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They have two. Well, the man had two children from a previous marriage, but the woman is their stepmom. And they told us me and the boyfriend, they told us that they were gonna cancel their annual passes come the end of May. They're like, we're done. We're spending way too much money because they were going to Disney every other weekend.
Yeah.
So that's like 26 times a year. They're going to Orlando, and it's not like they just go to the park. They go to the park. Obviously, you eat food, you do things.
Yeah.
Then you stay at the hotel.
Right.
That's not included.
No.
You got to pay for that every time. I'm sure there's like deals and stuff, but
yeah, because they're not Orlando residents where they can just drive.
No, they live in this area.
Okay. So the travel time, gas,
all that, and they're going every other weekend. And then they said that they're like, okay, we got to kind of. It was almost like this glimmer of reality. They're like, we got to kind of get real.
Yeah,
we got to kind of. I don't want to say grow up, but we got to get our priorities straight. That was the tone of the conversation. And then all of a sudden, they were going to Disney for Father's Day and going to Disney for this person's birthday and that person's birthday. And I'm like, I thought they canceled their annual passes. But then what we learned, and again, not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but the woman of the couple had a house and it went up for sale.
Oh.
So then we're like, well, that's interesting timing. Yeah. Where you're about to cancel your annual passes because it's time to grow up and not go to Disney every fucking other weekend. But instead of doing that, let's just sell all of our assets so that we can keep these annual passes. And guess what they did? That's exactly what they did. They sold the house and now they have annual passes and they continue on.
What a nightmare. I mean, that just sounds not fun to go to Disney.
It is not fun.
It's hot as shit.
I went on May 4th.
Hot as hell. Too hot.
They showed me around everywhere they could show me without me paying for a pass. So I went on the monorail thing and they showed me around the hotel and they showed me there's a pins. Are you familiar with the pins?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Each pin is like $17.
Yeah.
And then you get a pin folder and then you trade with other pin people, or you can go to a store and say, I have this pin. Can I see what pin you have? I'm part of the pin club. And I'm like, my mouth was just I looked like Joe Biden walking around. I was so confused. I'm like, I don't know. Why do you do this? And she was like, because it's fun. And I went, oh.
It's a nightmare. I mean, well, that's just, I guess it's a flavor of life. People like different things. To me, that sounds like a complete and utter fucking nightmare. I can't imagine going to just the blacktop. Oh my God, forget it.
The lines. You're outside for 10 hours.
Nope. Don't want to do
walking
that.
Walking around, not just walking around and seeing some new stuff, but walking around a place that you're at every other weekend. And I'm like, I asked her, I saw this person during Christmas time and I said, like, break it down for me. Like, how is this fun? Like, you go every other weekend. Like, even stuff I love doing, I don't want to do every other weekend.
Sure.
So she was like, no, but every other weekend or every weekend, they have different things and they have different events and they have different themes and it's different seasons. And we love watching other people enjoy Disney magic, for the first time. And I got on a bus with her and her husband. This was like 3 months ago. And what I didn't realize, they're the type of people that start conversations with people on a bus. That clearly
about Disney,
that don't want to have conversations with them. And I remember I had a bucket hat on and I just pulled it like all the way down. And I just said, yeah, I'm with them, but I'm not with them, if you know what I mean. I looked at this girl, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know you don't want to talk to these people, but they're talking to you. So we got 8 more minutes of this bus ride. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. So yeah. I
don't even know, like, when people talk about shows, like, have you seen this show? No, I haven't. I don't have to, I not even say I don't have time, but I don't want to watch TV. I guess I consume a lot of media, but it's more podcasts and, YouTube. But like shows, like I can't imagine watching a show or a movie.
I like documentaries. I watch a lot of those.
Yeah. But do you watch shows like on TV, like Netflix?
Kind of.
Really?
Like the Monica Lewinsky thing took me a
Okay.
while to get through, but I mean that's also kind of historical, so I don't know if that counts. It's not like a fictional show.
I mean, listen, it could be true that we are, or at least I am, a big stick in the mud. Because I don't know if I had more time if I would watch shows. I definitely wouldn't go to Disney. I think that I'm gonna say this. I think that people who are collecting toys in their 30s should be put in camps, and I'll stand by that. It's
What kind
not
of camps.
One where you have to concentrate really hard. But
okay.
It's not like what I don't understand what we're doing here. It feels like we're in very serious times. And I guess maybe I'm just jealous of people who are able to take it so lightly and just go to toy cons and collect toys at 36 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Comic-Con a few times and it's frightening.
Yeah,
I
that's a
saw
lot of the
people
same stuff.
LARPing. You know what that is? Where you
Yeah,
hit
live
them.
action role play.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that in parks. When
Yeah,
I went to North Carolina for Christmas, we were on the Guilford campus and there was people doing that in the courtyard.
Yeah.
It's very unsettling.
Yeah, that it's very like school shooter friendly kind of vibe.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
a little bit. I just wanted to go up and be like, turn around and just give them a wedgie.
Oh, I thought you meant like stick the thing and
no, turn around,
bullet.
turn around. You know what's coming. Just give them wedgies. But that doesn't happen anymore, which is why we have kidults.
Right.
Bullying is, frowned upon. So
Bring
now
it back.
people are free to be who they want to be.
Bring it back. Bring back
Bring
bullying.
it back. I agree.
And don't do it online like a pussy. Do it go to school and bully people to their face.
Yeah.
That's how you learn. Not the warrior behind the keyboard sort of thing. None of that. Bullshit.
Yeah, that's lame.
We want throwing kids in lockers, giving them swirlies and wedgies.
If deserved, like you shouldn't pick on a kid if they have, like a weird arm. But if they're, talking about Japanimation in 10th grade or, whatever, or collecting toys in, as a junior,
Shame.
You should be bullied for that
them.
because it's causing a negative effect on her. Well, is it doing that? I don't know. It just is. Okay. Once again, what do we do? I'm right.
Yep.
Okay.
I checked on political. He's right.
I'm right.
He's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Sorry, we'll be back live next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Looking forward to speaking with you then. HMBradio.substack.com if you want the audio-only, uncensored content in its entirety, audio only. And, I'm brainstorming things all the time we can do over there. I made it as cheap as I possibly could, but I know times are tough right now. You got to buy toys. I get it. So if you just want to go over to willsyoutube.com or Rumble, HMB Radio. Oh, I have a bit of belch. Sorry. On Rumble, then you can get it for free. So I would encourage you to do that as well. I'm a bad businessman. Bad businessman. On a Hummel, final thoughts.
I want to find out who Kamala's been scissoring.
We'll find out next week. Goodbye.